Hello, I'm Dennis O'Donnell, Vice President of Precision PCB Services, and this is our live broadcast on BGA Rework and other types of component rework. Today we're going to be using the Shuttle Star SV550 rework station. We provide services, training, products, anything related to BGA Rework, anything that we provide a service in, we also provide training, and we provide the equipment. Today I'm working with this is a Shuttle Star SV550 BGA Rework system. It comes complete with everything you need to start your own BGA Rework process. It's a plug and play. It's pretty much ready to go. We also include training. This particular machine is our demo unit, and we have it for sale for $12,000. It's a little over a year old, and it comes with a full 1-year warranty and 2 days training. So if anybody's interested to train on these machines, or any machine actually, and get one machine in the house, give me a call, 530-403-9103, toll free 888-406-2830. So that's enough of our advertising for the day. We're going to get into installing some components on some boards. Had a question from a viewer yesterday, and they were asking about cleaning cleaning higher pH type fluxes, qualifying them. I do believe that higher pH fluxes will give you a better yield and a longer life expectancy with lead-free solders. I see a lot of defects and process problems with lead-free solders that will reduce the life expectancy of your assemblies. So I'm not a real fan of lead-free solders. I don't think that they're proven or reliable yet. That's just my personal opinion. But if you're going to use lead-free solders, like we have to here for our customers that require them, we use a higher pH fluxes. One of the concerns of higher pH fluxes, again, is that higher pH means the flux contains acid. Acid can eat away at your traces, the copper metals, and the materials over time, so you need to make sure that you clean them well. And also, higher pH fluxes can cause surface leakage. If you don't clean them well, they can cause electrical leakage on board. So if you're in aerospace, RF circuits, stuff like that requires a very high resistive surface on your circuit board. It's a tongue twister. Then you want to make sure that you clean these well. And we were talking about inline cleaners with high pressure hot water wash are normally the best ways. Second best is to use an ultrasonic cleaner, and then you can just go to our sink and use hot water and flush it out well and blow them out and clean them. The question came up, well, how do I know I'm getting my flux clean out well from under the BGA? And again, what we're using are Amtech line of fluxes, and they're made specifically to flush out easy with water. I find them to be very reliable for BGA rework. But how do we know? I mean, we wash them out, and the solder looks like, or the flux looks like it's not there. But what happens is, like I say, it could leave an invisible film that would cause surface leakage. So what we do, what our customers do, is they do surface resistance tests. So I qualify my boards prior to using the fluxes. So all my fluxes here, I've qualified my process. But I have clients that do have surface resistance issues, and they also, after we review boards and we go to our customers, they also do visual inspections. They also do a surface resistance test. If we did have a surface leakage, it didn't move the fluxes, our customers would get back to us and let us know. Since we've been through all this with our customers letting us know many years ago, and that's when we started using the Amtech fluxes. And since we've been using the Amtech line of tacky fluxes, we have not had any issues, any returns, any negative feedback from our clients on surface resistance issues. So we're satisfied with our process. But if you're, it's your company, you have to qualify your process. And what I would suggest is that you purchase some dummy boards, dummy components. This is a company called Practical Components, and they have a whole array of different types of boards and BGA components that you can purchase. So I purchased my dummy boards from Practical Components. We purchased boards for training employees. We can get surface mount through-hole boards. So for our training classes, we buy kits of components and boards. But what you can do is you can buy components that are the same size, same outline as your good components. So what I would do is I would say if I'm using a component that's 1.5 to 2 inches square, I would get a dummy board with a 2-inch component. Qualify the flux of your process, put the chip on using your high pH flux, put it through your cleaning process, and then after it's been cleaned, take the component off dry, and then visually inspect underneath after you move the components. Is all the flux gone? And then do a surface resistance test. Is there any surface resistance? That way, after you do this a few times, you can be assured that your process is cleaning out the flux properly. So that's enough on our questions today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me or text your questions. I'm happy to answer. I hope I answered your questions to your satisfaction. That's what we're here for, is to help. We help our customers with process-related problems, and developing new processes to address their requirements. So earlier, we had to cut off early. We just got a little bit distracted, and when we're doing BGA Rework, we want to be fully focused. We don't want to be distracted by phone calls, text messages, other people coming in. It got a little bit, this morning got a little bit busy, a little bit hectic. We had some family from Vietnam coming in, so I decided to put this on hold until we can focus on it and not be working on stuff with a lot of distractions. Because distractions lead to mistakes, and mistakes lead to more work. So I've got this component board already in. It's already centered. And so what we're going to do is we are going to get our no-clean flux. So this board is a particular requirement that they use lead. So this company wants to use lead in their processes still. They haven't qualified lead-free. And so we're going to use a no-clean tack and paste fix. This is the LF 4300. Now, this is advertised as a no-clean. It doesn't have a pH in it. So it's not going to cause, this flux is not going to cause any issues with the high pH or acid eating away your core. This is, again, is the Amtech LF 4300. So it's not going to cause any issues with your with leaving on the board and oxidizing or etching away at your solder pads or your traces. It is a no-clean. However, it does have surface leakage above 30 megohm is what we're finding. So if you have a board that you find, most meters, you find out most meters around only read up to 20 megohms. So if you start getting the higher end meters, they read up to the 30 megohm range. So if you have requirements that you can't have surface resistance that's above 20 megohm, I would suggest you test for that and make sure it's all gone. So this rather thickly, if there's any type of visible residue that'll leak, it does not leave an invisible residue. So once you clean it off, it's pretty much gone. So we'll clarify this 4300, LF 4300 is a no-clean. It's safe to leave on the board, but it will have surface leakage above 30 megohms. Surface resistance leakage. And we always clean them out. We clean it out anyway. But all our fluxes that come in, we'll use a megometer and we'll test how many megohms they leak at. It's fluxed. I'm just placing the component. It's not in the screen. We already have our profile set. We're not keeping the profiles now, so we're just doing some basic rework. We'll pick it up. Again, I'll take one more look. Make sure pin 1's in the right location. If you ever check it out, because sometimes pin 1's in the right location. Then when you put it down, it magically went in the other location. We don't know how that happens, but it must be our brains or our eyes are playing tricks on us. So we picked up the component. Again, this LC 550 is the semi-auto, so this prism, the camera moves around manually. I do prefer, for the work we do, I prefer the manual movement. I can get a real true time vision of each ball corner to corner on especially large chips up to 4 inch or more. The fully automated units, they have a robotic arm that comes out. There's a lot more automatic pick and place. And again, I'm not in a rush to do these things. I'm doing them slowly. I want a good quality job, so I don't mind the semi-auto. This is the unit I prefer to use. You'll probably know the multitude. We will have a fully auto floor model in here. Again, this unit is for sale. The reason we're selling this one is it's a demo, and we're going to make way for the newer model unit. So this buy a new floor model. For our demo on the next year, every year we sell one of our floor model units. We're going to have to get this more cameras down the road. I'm just starting out with this Google Hangouts. We're getting the hang of it. We don't have a big following yet. So I don't expect this to be exciting and real professional every single day. We're just here trying to help people out, give them some advice, let them see what's going on. So if you think it's boring and dry and unprofessional, nobody's complaining about it, but don't complain. It's just to get some interactivity going and some people learn more about BGA Rework and Web3 processes. So what I'm doing right now, you can't see on the screen what I'm doing. I'm looking at the upper left of the BGA solder balls and lining them up with the pad. And I'm going to the upper right and making sure that they're straight all the way across. This is the X line is the adjustment. So I'm going to go straight all the way across. Once they're all lined up, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer. The camera, all the controls are here on the keypad. On the mouse that you can touch or use a mouse. So let's see if I can get the view here. Well, this isn't the highest resolution camera, but you can see what we're doing. These are our BGA pads on top. This is our solder ball on the bottom. The machine has the BGA pads with the yellow light, the solder balls with the blue light. We'll just move down here. It's a very good resolution. I mean, you're not going to be able to tell with my little web camera. It's not a real high resolution web camera, but you get the general idea. So I'm showing you the stuff so you don't think, oh, that's got really bad resolution. Because this is really allows me to zoom in. And I can line these pads up 100, or the solder balls up 100% right on that pad. It's really fantastic. Again, this is the SV550. We have the SV560 model. And the SV560 has a high resolution camera and monitor. And if you're going to be doing components that are down to 1 millimeter or smaller than what the SV560 unit. I should have some videos on YouTube at PCB Repair to show you how well the SV560s do with the 1 millimeter components. So I'm comfortable. This is lined up now. So what we're going to do, we're just going to press our solder button. There's a little tab here. Press solder. It's going to go down and place the component. Set it down. Go back up about 2 millimeters to the gap of the component. I'm going to turn this off. We'll stop it. What you have to do is when any machine, when you set your component down, you have to make sure that the component sets down and does not come back up. So what we're looking at is this component. I watched it, and the component the component came back, stuck to the tip a little bit, and came back up and dropped. And sometimes if your pickup tubes have a little bit of sticky stuff on them, earlier we were removing components with conformal coatings. Looks like there might be a little flux on top of this chip, so we're going to clean it off with some alcohol. I just cleaned the tip off with an alcohol. It looked like we had maybe a little flex in my finger on top of the chip that made it stick a little bit. And so what happens is if there's a little flux and you're sticking this out, it'll stick to the tip, the tube goes back up, the chip falls, and then it can fall off center. We'll zoom back out. Make sure that component's lined up with stalled line. Pick it up again. So again, like I say, when you're doing a BGA rework, let's over here, you don't want to get distracted. The camera didn't cut my head off, but you don't want to be distracted. You want to pay attention to what you're doing. You want to watch what you're doing. You just don't press the button, let the thing go, and walk away from the machine. Because things happen when you're not around. And like I say, if I was just pressing this and letting it go and walking away, I wouldn't have noticed that component dropping. There's things you have to pay attention to increase your quality, increase your yield. Yeah, let's just look off about that dropping caused to go off about a quarter of a cab. Zoom back in here. There we go. Okay, the pad's focused, our solid ball's focused, and then we're going to go across the top, to the right, to the left, and to the right again, to the left. A little bit of a Z adjustment here. Left, right. Make sure the top here. Top center. Bottom center. Okay. Line. That again. I'm going to go to the solder. Check the pin one's in the right place. Down. Perfect. That time it did not move. So we had a little flux residue there. Could have caused a big issue if I wasn't watching. We would have possibly off center, bridging. So paying attention increases our yield, and we don't make as many mistakes. So I'm going to go here. I got to share this link with a few people while we're doing that reflow. Hello. Okay, so we're live. Wait for this chip to reflow. What I was talking about yesterday is that you can watch the solder balls reflow from the sides, make sure that they're reflowing, that the chips going down evenly while it's happening. We have a side light on this machine to help us view. These machines actually are available with the camera that will give you a side view and you can zoom in and watch on the video as the solder ball is built. The only drawback is, like I say, like this board's got a little power pack here, it's got a header here. If they have tall components around the BGA chip that can block the view, the camera's not going to do any good. So it's only going to be good on boards that have a clear view. This one I can see pretty good from this side. And then what I can do, I can actually take I like a yellow light better. Take a flashlight and I can just look from the other sides. And I can watch when those are going to reflow. But we're not there yet. We're probably getting pretty close. We have one more zone to go on this. So I'm just looking to the side. I can see we have almost complete reflow. We're at the top of our zone here, so I'm going to go about another 30 seconds, and then we'll just stop it. It stops, the cooling fans come on. So again, this machine has a top hot air, bottom hot air. It has a top 1200 watt hot air top heater. With a 600 watt bottom heater. We can upgrade the bottoms to 1200 watt heaters. There's 3600 watt infrared perimeter heaters. And then the thing with the sequence has a cooling fan, so it cools from the top, bottom. It also has a side heater here that cools across the board of the heater. So it's really nice to cool it off very fast. Very efficient. If this one cool down a little more. That one's ready. I'm going to, even though it's like this low cool flux, I'll clean it out anyway. Let this cool down. This unit won't do anything you thought. We've done large boards, 36 inches square. We've done boards over a quarter-inch thick. It's a really good machine. It will do anything you thought compared to anything I've had in the past. I've had very expensive machines. If you're in the market for a BGA Rework machine, I always tell people, make sure that you take the boards that you are going to be working on to get demos. Any machine could do a little thin board like this. So don't let somebody put a little 2-inch board in front of you and show you how easily it removes a 1/2-inch component. And then when you get to your shop, put your big boards on it, you may not work it out. So see this board here? It was about I think a 0.090 thickness. It's a pretty thick board. It's not 0.62. So it's got nice uniform heating. You see how I can see from the view here, it doesn't work at all. We use a nice uniform heating. It's cool ball. I'm going to go inspect this, and I'll bring back another board to work on. Okay, so that board, the install went very nice. Nice and even. Good compression. Good wetting. Not ripping. We're going to do this board next. It just came out of the oven. I need to cool it down a minute before we do it. So I have the fan blowing here. And the fan unit here. It goes across the whole unit. It'll cool off my board here for me. Wants to be a bit larger, so this new component's probably about a 2-inch component almost. What I'll do is, I think we're okay, but As a precaution, you can just take one off. Kim wipe this with alcohol, make sure I pick up previous clean, just wipe it off a little bit. Maybe the nozzle out. So when you're looking for your BGA Rework machine, I always have to give my play here. Mike Sherritt can do components as large as 2 inches square with 2,000 solder balls. Make sure it can do boards that are 35 layers and a 1/4 inch thick. Make sure you ask all those questions. Make sure that they show you a demo that it can actually do that type of performance and work well. And then ask them if they can get it. You can buy it for under $20,000. And if they tell you no, you know where to come. We sell these machines starting at 14. I have to check my pricing, but around $14,000 for a machine to do everything. And we provide 1-year parts warranty and training, and then it comes with our famous support. We've been in business for 23 years. We don't fly going anywhere, and this year we're bringing on a new team of people to help us support and move sales of more of these machines. Next week, I'm proud to announce we will be bringing aboard an old colleague, Mark Capizzi, coming aboard as our quality manager. Mark and I go way back, probably to 1991. Mark and I met when he worked in Southern Graphics. After the dot-com crash, a lot of its computers closed, and Southern Graphics, if you've ever heard of it, was a very impressive company. It doesn't stick around anymore. And Mark came to work for us for an intern, and then went down to San Diego working at Government Space and Defense. And he's done the Government Space and Defense for 10 years. And just to do a semi-retirement thing, and he's moving back up here where we're at, Orville, California. This is vacation, retirement, lots of fishing here, hunting. It's a real quality of life area. I love it. I'm an outdoor sports activity guy. Maybe if I get done early today, I'll go fishing today and catch some bass, which I have to do. But we're looking forward to Mark's going to come working with us, and we'll probably see him on these videos in a week or so. He's a real top BJ. He was in charge of the Silicon Graphics BJ Rework department. And Mark and I both started out, I would say, the pioneers of the BGA Rework industry. Both started out before BGAs were really a mainstream device. Started out on the bottom end of the technology. And so now, like I say, after the BGAs are moving to the Web3, Web3 is still pretty new. I still consider it in its infancy, so we're going to work through the Web3 processes. So this board here is it's cooled down. We're going to put some flux on it, and then we're going to get ready to put another component on it. We have, again, we're installing our components using a tacky paste flux. This component here does have lead solder balls, so we're using a no clean tacky paste flux. We're really making sure that we have our pin one on the right location. Pin one's right. I do suggest that if you're using a tacky paste flux, you apply it with a stencil or if you apply it with a brush, you apply it under the microscope. You want to see that you're getting this flux on all the pads. A lot of people use a brush on their fingers, they think the naked eye is great, and all it takes is you just get a little flux out of one quarter pad, and there goes your install. You get a cold solder joint, or maybe not a recoil. I always install the flux under the microscope to make sure that all my pads have an even quarter flux. And making sure my chip was evenly aligned. I'm looking at the perimeter corners right now to make sure we have the same amount of space roughly between each side. I'm looking at the gap here, gap here, gap here. That sounds pretty close. We're squaring our nozzle. Zoom out a little bit. Chip in there. We can zoom in. So there's a real high zoom rate. Pretty good. So we're lined up in the nozzle. Pick up the chip. Something up there for you. Pretty tight. Well, that's as good as we're going to get it, I guess. I'm going to loosen up the back. Okay, we're going to pull up the screen. Zoom it in. Upper left. There's our pad, there's our solder ball. There's another one on this side. Up to the right. Pass to the left again. Well, it's straight across, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put them on center. Go ahead and look at these center balls and make sure that they're lined up here straight on the pads. Go down to the bottom. That's a pretty good alignment. My screen back here and back up here. Do one more check myself here. You got to check it now. I got to get a better view. Really nice. Okay, happy with that. Turn off the cooling fans. Solder. Back up. Place the component, nothing stuck, left it all good. So now we just wait for it to go through its sequence. When it reflows, then we'll be done. Long day. Not so much longer, it's been a busy day. Hello?
You done talking?
Oh, no, I'm talking all the time. I just love myself like this. I haven't talked to myself. Yeah, so we need to get a following. If you see this video, tell your friends, tell your colleagues about my live broadcast with BGA Rework, BGA Rework Stations, BGA Revolume, BGA Process. We also, like I said, we don't just do BGA, we do BGA, POPs, CGA, QFNs, LGAs. We do the gambit. If you have questions, process issues, log online, check it out, post your questions. You're getting close. We're there. It looks like it's completely repolled. Again, we're going to give it a few more seconds to make sure it's all the way across the chip. I'll push it down. So we'll give about 30 seconds to rest after a complete reload. There's a compound tape for the rest of the areas, protect the headers. And that's a little bit. I use a 2 mil compound tape for protection. We can layer it up if we need to. Okay, so it's about 2 o'clock here. We have a 3:30 deadline to pack our stuff up and ship it out to keep on schedule, so we're about ready to call it a day. In closing, I want to talk about LGA components. Excuse me. Are you in aerospace, medical, defense? Then you want to listen up if you use the LGA components. That's these little guys. You have the square gold pads on the bottom. You have the issues with solder voiding. Do you require lead solder stuff for high reliability? Then you need to check out our solder pumping services. We provide lead and lead-free solder pumping services for LGA components and similar type components. And then, of course, we provide reballing components for both BGAs and CGAs. So look us up if you want some process solutions, if you want to reduce your voiding in your solder joints on LGA and BGA, give me a call. We have some processes that will set you up with void-free solder joints. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching.